Hello, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Dvergsten-Beauce, and I'm a social worker here with Lung Cancer Canada. I will be sharing my screen in just a little bit. I'm giving a presentation about coping with lung cancer during the holiday season or really any special occasion. So whatever hat you're wearing here today, whether you're a patient or a caregiver or a family member or friend, the goal of this presentation is to validate your experiences and your feelings in whatever role that you have, and to hopefully offer some practical tips and supports. So how are you today? How are you in this moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing? Do you have any stressors or worries? Perhaps maybe you're thinking ahead to some celebrations or joys that you've recently experienced. How are you doing? We know that cancer can add additional stress and worry and challenges, particularly when there are things and events going on like holidays or other special occasions. Maybe the holiday cheer that you see around you is tampered by physical, emotional, financial, or maybe other practical worries that are related to lung cancer. Whatever those common experiences that you're feeling are, it is common to have some different feelings come up. So maybe you're feeling guilty about not doing things that you used to do or that others expect of you. Maybe you're hesitating to ask for support or requesting a change in plans. Perhaps you're feeling a sense of sadness or grief and thinking about how COVID has impacted us. So maybe you've had a loss of a loved one, a loss of plans, expectations, spontaneity, opportunities, feelings that you have maybe to stay positive or put on a happy face to support others around you. Maybe you're even experiencing a renewed sense of hope or courage or togetherness at this time of year. Whatever your feelings are and whatever hat you're wearing, you're certainly not alone. When we think about COVID and living with lung cancer, there are actually many parallels between those two experiences. When we think about loss and grief and those two experiences, there's a loss of sense of control or feeling out of control. Perhaps there's grieving a loss of normalcy. Maybe there's been a death in your family, your friends, or amongst your acquaintances. Living in isolation certainly has been a shared experience for most people with COVID-19. And living with lung cancer also makes a person feel a certain sense of isolation as well. And that uncertainty that comes with COVID, that uncertainty that comes with lung cancer, feeling unsure of what's next, maybe asking, can I keep doing this? For how long do I have to keep doing this? And hope, a parallel of hope as well, reframing what that looks like or how it shows up, or the need for hope. When we think about tips and strategies, so tips and strategies to cope with lung cancer during the holiday season or any special occasion, how can we manage these things? How can we get through? So one really key place to start, I like to use this analogy called the gas tank analogy. And when we think about our gas tanks, we think about all the different dimensions of wellness within us. We have our physical health, our mental and emotional health, spiritual, intellectual, social, financial, environmental, all of those different parts of us. Where are our gas tanks set? Coping with treatments and fatigue can be exhausting and overwhelming, and energy waxes and wanes and then also changes frequently. So cancer can make things unpredictable and inconsistent in that way. Each day will be different. So assessing your energy levels realistically and frequently can be a really helpful tip and strategy to cope at this time of year. Asking what's, taking my energy right now and what's giving me energy. Are my gas tanks in the green area? Are they maybe half full, or are they in the red area? Are they maybe on fumes, or do I feel like I'm out of gas in some of those different areas of my life? Another tip can be to make a simple plan and pace yourself. So what is your goal for this holiday season or this special occasion right now? Planning in advance on how you want to spend your time, who you want to connect with, and what you can do to help support your goals is another really helpful tip or strategy. So that question there, what are my wishes for this holiday season, is a good indicator to cope with this time of year. When we think about setting clear boundaries, living with lung cancer can force many people to shift gears or change courses altogether. It's absolutely okay to say no to something. So maybe a tradition used to be to host a gathering at your home. Is there an opportunity or a need to switch gears, to set clear boundaries and to shift? Maybe it's doing something, slightly differently, but still with the same essence or flavor of how it was before. Setting those clear boundaries and choosing the activities and situations that are most important and putting those on your task list rather than the things that aren't necessary at this time can help you to pace yourself when you're moving through this time of year. And communication, that's such an important piece of this as well, that strategy of communicating clearly, expressing your feelings in ways that help you to receive the support of the important people in your life, and being open and honest about what your needs are and what your desires are, and communicating that on a regular basis with the people in your circle of care. So the question to ask there is, what's one thing that I need today? Have I communicated that need? And who can help support me with that need? Another tip or strategy to cope with lung cancer during this time of year is to take time for yourself. Taking time for yourself. What have you done for yourself today? Identifying activities that are rewarding and uplifting, those energy giving things, not things that take away from our gas tanks. It can be a really fine balance between participating in those things that, again, give us energy and take it away. So not overexerting ourselves, but rather allowing ourselves to take small steps to complete tasks and giving ourselves the right amount of time to do that. A helpful coping strategy could be gently moving your body in ways that feel helpful and good. Mindfulness meditations, easy distractions like movies or TV or podcasts or reading, recognizing daily achievements without comparing yourself to a different time in your life. Eating healthy foods, connecting with different supports, rest is key, and practicing gentle compassion. All of those are really helpful coping strategies and are ways that you can take time for yourself. Another tip could be to be open to your emotions. So feeling all of the feels. It's really common and expected to feel a range of emotional experiences related to living with cancer, and particularly going through holidays or special occasions. So it's important to engage with these emotions rather than sliding or pushing them under the rug so deep down that we try to numb ourselves. It can be helpful to speak with a trusted loved one or a professional counselor if that would resonate with you. But again, being open to those emotions. So am I mindful or is my mind full? Is a really important question here. When we think about these special occasions or holiday seasons, are you enjoying the special moments that are there? Even if everything looks and feels different, it's important to identify special moments of laughter and humor and meaning and connection. Did anything bring a sense of joy, laughter today? Where were those little firefly moments when things feel otherwise kind of dark? And celebrating you and your loved ones. Walking through adversity can be, also highlight areas of strength and resilience. You're doing the best that you can. So it's important to reflect on the ways that you and your loved ones have coped with lung cancer and to celebrate the ways that you've shown that strength and courage. So build on this during the holiday season and ask the question, what can I celebrate today in this moment? So when we think again about lung cancer, and then when we're living also still in, a pandemic time with COVID-19, what are some different considerations that we should take? Well, one of the most important things is to stay well informed. So what's going on in the world around me? Are there restrictions that I need to be mindful of? Where am I getting my information from? Misinformation is certainly not very helpful. So asking that question, what's safe, what's not safe, and what do I feel comfortable with? Speaking to your healthcare team as well with any questions or concerns you have is a really excellent strategy to use, especially when things are feeling uncertain around us. And identifying your own comfort levels and limits. It can be, really tricky to discern what we can and can't do. Yes, I can technically do this, but do I feel comfortable with it? Maybe not. Your feelings are valid wherever you're at. And again, going back to that strategy of communicating clearly, it can be really hard to do this, especially when everybody's feeling perhaps low in their gas tanks. But it's a really important strategy to use. So maybe it's about creating a script with 3 key messages when you're speaking to somebody or making plans. So maybe saying, thank you for the invitation to gather. It really means a lot to me. At this time, I don't really feel comfortable gathering in person or with that many people around, but is there another way that we can connect that works for both of us? This communication and having a plan and what you're sharing with others is really an excellent strategy to move through this time of year. And at the end of the day, do what works best for you. Your health and well-being are most important. So if a close loved one isn't willing to compromise or find creative solutions, where are there other opportunities to meaningfully connect? So a brief little overview of tips and strategies to move through this time of year. Check in with yourself. Where are your gas tanks at? Make a simple plan and stick to it. Less is more in this case. And set really clear boundaries with others, but also with yourself, while remembering and recognizing that energy comes and goes and every day might look differently. Communicate this clearly and often with those around you. Take time for yourself. How are you giving yourself energy? What does that look like these days? Are you making space to feel all of the emotions that this time of year, or that the last couple of years, or that your lung cancer diagnosis has brought into your life? Are you going through those motions and feeling those emotions? Enjoy the special moments and make time to connect with yourself and others around you in ways that feel good and right for you, and celebrate the wins. Celebrate the ways that you have shown up with resilience and courage. Stay well informed about the situation, particularly in relation to COVID-19. And if any time you have questions or concerns, certainly don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare team. That's what they're there for. So when we think about, again, managing or coping with lung cancer during the holiday season or special occasions, and when there's still a pandemic going on, what's one thing that sticks out to you as a tool or strategy that you've learned that you can add to your toolbox? And at the end of this presentation, how are you feeling? Or any emotions coming to the surface? Have you identified anything that you need? And what's one thing that you're proud of or grateful for right now? And how are you celebrating that in this moment? This quote is a really, I think, poignant one. Tears can bring a sense of relief. Laughter can be relaxing. Sharing can be comforting. It's common to experience a mixture of anticipation, excitement, and apprehension about the future. So let your feelings breathe and talk them over with a loved one, friend, or professional counselor. You're certainly not alone. And our wish and our hope is that you feel well supported, not just at this time of year, but always. So if you need to reach out for some support, certainly don't hesitate to do that. Our information can be found on our website for Lung Cancer Canada. So do reach out if that would be helpful and meaningful for you at this